education is having a chilling effect on free speech. A good chunk of conservative college students say they self-censor their views inside and outside of the classroom out of fear of damaging their reputation. 63% of students overall fear speaking their minds could have a damaging impact. And 42% of conservative students report that they often feel uncomfortable speaking freely. And just this week, Stanford tries to eliminate harmful language by banning offensive words like American. But we have an amazing update on that. The woke college is walking back their idiotic speech code and updating their website with, quote, "To be very clear, not only is the use of the term American not banned at Stanford, it is absolutely welcomed." So, Jessica, I think actually conservatives hiding their political perspectives on college campuses if they're not politically involved is actually not something new.
Yeah.
What is new is it's one thing to write a paper from a different perspective in a class and argue with a professor, but if you're having to do that outside of the classroom among your peers, that's a different thing.
I could imagine it being a very tough environment to do that, to just even with.
It's like
and part of
five.
It's a very tough environment. No, because part of the problem is also that everyone just talks about politics all the time. It wasn't that way even when we went to college, which wasn't that long ago. Yeah. You know, everyone kind of loosely knew where your politics lay, but you had other stuff to talk about, whether pop culture stuff, whatever it is. And now it's infiltrated, I feel like, almost every aspect of our lives. And that's what makes it so much harder then for people to be able to express themselves. Because you used to be able to go to a party, see a cute girl, you go up to her, talk to her. Now she's going to say something like, oh, you know, are you participating in X, Y, or Z activity? And then it all comes out and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Trump really was a line in the sand for a lot of people, and even for some Republicans who just couldn't get on board with this, right? It's not traditional conservatism, to put it nicely. I think it's a real shame, and I think it's important that people do spend time with folks who don't think the same as them, even if it makes you sure of your beliefs. So I hate this.
Judge, aren't college campuses supposed to be a place of exchanging ideas, debating, learning how to defend your own values? You can't do that if everybody's censoring themselves.
Yeah, well, you know, it started with Berkeley being supposedly the birthplace of free speech until about 6 years ago when conservatives dared to go to Berkeley to speak. And then it was like, you cannot speak. We will burn down Berkeley and we will smash every window, every door. But the truth is that the kids are self-censoring for good reasons. They know that they're going to be punished by their peers. They know they're going to be punished and not given good grades by their professors. And I think they understand better than a lot of people think that it's not the place for dialogue. And it requires that when someone goes to college that they have a really strong moral core and know who they are, or they're going to be swayed right into the nonsensical, politically correct way of thinking and the only political ideology that you're allowed to express.
Sean, I've spent some time on college campuses as a speaker being protested by rowdy college students, but I get questions from parents all the time about how to prepare their conservative kids for school. You have lots of conservative kids. Some of them have been through college, and they've been active as conservatives on their campuses.
Well, I've learned the lesson that when I pay for school, I'm going to help pick the school my kids go to. I'm not going to send them to these woke schools because they professionalize indoctrinating your children, and they're very good at it. And I can lose my own kids, so I try to send them now. I have so many kids I can get it wrong and then get it right later. But I think it's important to note that all these professors are very liberal. You don't have conservative professors on campus. And Judge, you're right. They're concerned about being, punished, whether it's their grades. They could be, canceled online. They could be kicked out of college for what they say. And I think it's great when you have a well-informed young conservative debating a teacher. That can inspire other kids to go, hey, really good point. I'm with this guy, not the teacher. That's a great thing. But, I think this, if you look at a threat to democracy, it's these universities that are a threat to democracy. 62% of college students think it's acceptable to shut down a speaker by yelling at them. 20% think that they can use violence to shut down speech. This is crazy town for all of us who used to go to school back, 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Well, and it's like the college campus atmosphere has spilled out into all sectors of society, Jimmy. But as the comedian at the table tonight,
let me say this.
Campus is the worst place for comedians to go because everybody's so offended.
This is the irony. And I don't mean to make this all about me or my stand-up comedy career, which you can watch on Fox's All-American New Year on December the 31st. But the most seminal comedy special of my youth was called Carlin on Campus. And George Carlin recorded an hour special at a series of universities because it was so risque at the time. You could only say stuff like this at colleges. So we've devolved that much in terms of colleges being bastions of free speech. Carlin on campus today would be called Carlin on fire, because they would burn down the whole university as they do to guys like you. And I'm so amazed to add to that we're putting such an emphasis on words in places like Stanford, where they have so many. I mean, you can't walk down the street in California without getting attacked by a homeless person, or as they call them in Stanford, a free-range people. But the point is, we're fighting the wrong battles. That's the point. Jokes are not violence. Speech is not violence. I'm an ex-cab driver. You never got punched in the head and said, thank God that wasn't a joke. You know what I mean? And that's what we're getting wrong.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.